Good day, everyone. Welcome back to BST African Electron Surgery. And we have this package. This package is coming from a local computer repair shop. Yeah, the guy phoned me. He said, I sent you two laptop motherboards, of which you have to fix one, which is an Acer motherboard. The other one is for space. Huh? You know, people, they are pretty cool around. He knows that in order to fix a motherboard, you must have like boards for space. Phone number, Max Computers. Okay. So let's see what we have here. We have these motherboards. And I believe the one on top, this one. Yeah, this one is an Acer motherboard. I think I once fixed so many boards like this. I made so many videos about this motherboard. So it's Acer Aspire E1 series. That's the model of this one. E1 series around there. And this one looks like an old motherboard. Look, the PCH. Huh? And this board obviously died due to water damage. You can see some kind of water damage here. And here. Okay. So we will not concentrate on this one because this one he said is for space. So let's have a look on this motherboard. What is the first step? The first step is to identify components on this motherboard. We have the charging port here. That's the charging port. If I do remember, the input Mosfets are these ones. You see those two Mosfets? Those two Mosfets, they are in serial mode and we don't have a coil there. Those are the input Mosfets. And we have ENE here. That's the microcontroller startup chip. And next to the ENE, that's MXIC, that's the BIOS chip. ENE, BIOS chip, CMOS battery, PCH on the other side, the processor with the GPU inside. This is just a basic motherboard. Huh? So what can we do? Let's play with the power supply and see. Yeah, I set on 19 volts. You can see 19 volts, 3.6 amps. Even 3.6 amps should be fine. Let's plug in here. We have like 1 milliamp, 2 milliamp standby current. Let's check some voltages. I'll go straight on those Mosfets. Here we have 19.4. On the output, we have like 0.89. So the first MOSFET is not outputting anything. Okay. So there's no voltage. Even if I check on any power supplies, here must be a power supply. We have 0.993. Here must be a power supply. 0.93. So clearly we don't have the main 19 volts power line. Okay. So I unplugged the power supply. And now I think we can do visual inspection of the motherboard under microscope. I think we can. Let's inspect the motherboard. Those are the input MOSFET. We have 4304 and 4466. This is channel N MOSFET, and we are just inspecting the motherboard. Maybe we can spot something. Here we have another component. This looks like the BQ chip. Yeah, BQ 25A, that's the BQ chip. Okay. And we have the ENE chip. That's our chip. KB9012QF. And some of the pins of the ENE chip here, some kind of corrosion here. We have like corroded pins here. Okay. Otherwise, the board looks fine. PCH. Another power supply here. Okay. So let's check the main 19 volts for short diode mode. You can see this is a power supply. We have 2 coils, 4 MOSFETs, and the ceramic capacitors. This is 3.3 volts and 5 volts power supply. It's not shorted. No, the main 19 volts power line is not shorted. So let's start by cleaning the motherboard. On the ENE chip, I'm not happy. Here. I'm not happy here. Otherwise, the chip looks fine. This is the visible fault that we have. You know how we are cleaning the corroded pins? We clean and then we insulate with the soldering flux just to prevent corrosion again. Yeah, flux is a good insulator. So let's do a little reflow on this chip. After that, we'll attend to the input circuit. What's going on there? That's good. We'll leave it like that. We'll leave like that. Let's go here. On those MOSFETs. So that's the first MOSFET 4304. That's an N channel MOSFET. And another one is an N channel MOSFET. So this MOSFET is not passing 19 volts. Why? Gate of the first MOSFET is not shorted to ground. Gate of the second MOSFET. Check here. 0, 0. This is the second MOSFET. 0, 0. So now you see why the first MOSFET is not passing 19 volts. Huh? Now you see. You see the reason, or I didn't see. Let me show you again. This one is the first MOSFET. Let's check the second MOSFET. Drain to source. 0. Source to gate is not shorted, but drain to source is 0. This MOSFET is shorted. But before we replace that MOSFET, let's explain few things. I explained these things so many times. How the input MOSFETs, they are working. You see those MOSFETs? But let's do it again. Let's do it again. I made so many videos about this. So what we have the charging port. That's the charging port. We have the charging port with the plus 19 volts wire and minus, which is going to ground on the Acer laptop. We have 2 wires on the plus and 2 wires connected to ground. And what these wires on the plus they are going through the MOSFETs. M to the power 1, another MOSFET M to the power 2. Those MOSFETs are in serial mode. So in our case, we have 4 pins together here and 3 pins together and the gate pin. And is going to 3 pins together and the gate pin, and output we have 4 pins together. What these MOSFETs are doing, they are just acting exactly as switches. These are switching devices. In case of you make short on the charger or any short circuit happen on the motherboard, these switches, they are there to cut down the power, just to protect the whole circuit. And where this gate is going to that BQ chip, the BQ chip, the charging controller. So this MOSFET here we have 19, but here on the output we don't have 19. For the simple reason that this second MOSFET here is short. But this MOSFET is not shorted to ground. It's shorted from drain to source. It's shorted from drain to source. And all these MOSFETs, they are channel N MOSFETs. Channel N channel, the last digit is an even number. And on the P channel, the last digit written on the MOSFET will be an odd number. Even number meaning the number is divisible by 2. This one is not divisible by 2. This is just ordinary mathematics, O-level mathematics, even number and odd numbers. So our problem is here. This MOSFET is shorted. So what I would do, since the customer bring this board for repair, for spares, I mean, we have to identify the the MOSFETs. Let's identify the MOSFETs, the input circuit of this motherboard. We do have the charging port here. And those MOSFET. This one, the last digit is 4407. 4407. So we can't use channel P MOSFET to replace channel N MOSFET. So definitely on this board, we can't do anything. Let's take another board. I have a similar board for space. Let's check this circuit here. Here. (4466), similar MOSFET. Let's check that MOSFET. This one is good. So I'll take this one. I'll take this MOSFET. Let's take this MOSFET, this one. Fine. Let's take the shorted MOSFET down. Here. (4466). You can see the writing on the MOSFET. This is an N channel MOSFET. And our MOSFET is now in place. Now all what is left is to test for that MOSFET. And the MOSFET is good. So yeah, the board is still hot. Let's wait for the MOSFET to cool down, and then we can test to see if this motherboard is now working. Let's test now. Let's test now. The power supplies, you can see the change of current. Initially it was taking around the 10-20 milliamps. Now it's taking, it was taking around 1-2 milliamps. Now it's around the 10-11 milliamps. So I don't have the switch, so we try to use a tweezer. Pin number 1, pin number 2. Yeah, pin number 2. And the fan is spinning. Check here. We have the blue power LED light. It's working. Huh? Check the current. It's now taking 500 milliamps. Yeah, the fan has stopped. Maybe the processor is still warm. I want to see the change of current. Now it's on 500 milliamps. The board is still on. $500. That the processor is getting warm. Yeah, it is still on. You can see the LED here. But why only 500? Huh? The board is on, but yeah, you can see it's now changing. 560. 550. And the fan is now spinning at full speed. So I'm sure this board is working fine. I'm sure we've done our part here. So that's how you can diagnose and test a dead laptop motherboard. And what we found was the second MOSFET, this one. I'm sure it's now is shorted even if you test here. You can see here, drain to source combination should not be mixed up. You know the MOSFET, how the MOSFET is working. We have the gate, source and drain. So if you see drain to source beeping like this, that means we have a shorted MOSFET. So yeah, I'll stop this video now. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. I'll give back the motherboard to the owner. He will assemble and will give me the feedback on the display issue. But on the power issue, the motherboard is now working fine. It's still on. You can see the LED here. Everything is working fine. Even if I'm to check for voltages, I'm sure we have all voltages on all coils. Here we have this coil. Okay, volts. This is the charging coil. Here we have another coil. What do you have here? We have 1 volt, 0.8, 1.52, 0.8, 5 volts, 3.3. All the voltages are okay. So I'll stop this video and yeah, see you on the next game. Bye.